What's up, everyone? All right, well, it's a red day recap. We're going to break it down in the recap. I'm not going to go into it right here. You're going to watch it. You'll enjoy it. Please hit the thumbs up for the red day recap. I know these are helpful for you guys. And as always, in case you don't already know, my results are not typical. The typical experience of a beginner trader is losing money. That's why these red day recaps are so helpful. So assume you will lose. And with that assumption in mind, trade in a simulator before you ever put real money on the line. Take it slow. All right, I hope you enjoy the recap. All right, so red day recap, second red day recap in a row because I was red on Friday. So I took a good size loss on Friday. I'm gonna pull up my trader view stats here so we can kind of look at them. So as you know, Friday I was down 40 grand. That was disappointing because, well, for obvious reasons, I suppose, but especially disappointing at the beginning of the month because I was up about $58,000 on the month, and in that one day, I gave back 2/3 of my profit, going from up 58,000 to up only around, well, I guess it was 15,000 or so. So I got to import my trades from Friday, which I'm going to do really quickly here. But yeah, Friday was not great. So disappointing on Friday, and I rolled that right into another red day on Monday. So couple of factors. Long weekend, that's always nice, restful, unless you have kids, and that's not restful at all. And so I came in this morning exhausted. Had a long weekend, and it was a long weekend. So some of you already know that I trade terribly on Mondays since having my second child, which was about a year ago. So, now I have 2 kids, and for the last year, I have been losing money on Mondays, and it's pathetic. It's so stupid, but it's real, and there's nothing I could do about it. I don't know. It just is what it is. So, and I can get my metrics up here for you. Hang on, 12, 20, 21. There we go. All right, so these are my metrics. Net profit, I'm gonna move these over here. Trading on Mondays. There you go. So I'm just added another loss here. And by the way, I'm down 22,000 here, but I'm down another 8,000 in my retirement account. So I'm down 30,000. So, Mondays, it'd be hard to understand how I could do so well on these other days, so well, and not produce anything on Monday. And the most obvious explanation for this sudden shift is the sort of change in my life. And I think that it speaks to just how outside forces in other aspects of your life can bleed over into trading. And this is just part of life. If you've got a lot going on, it's going to have an impact. And so it clearly has for me, and it's disappointing that I've not been able to kind of break out of that here. So here I am, another Monday, and it's Tuesday, but really it's the first day of the week, and it's Monday, and I'm in the red. And so now I've got 2 back-to-back red days, and I think what makes me most upset about it today, I feel really pretty upset today. And I think the reason I'm so upset today is because it feels so familiar. Wasn't I just here 2 weeks ago with a $41,000 red day, and then the next day, 29,000 red, right? I'm looking at the calendar, and it's like I was just here. It was 2 weeks ago, and that's really, really annoying. So, it's like right now, every 2 weeks, I got 2 weeks, 2 weeks prior, those 2 back-to-back red days, and then a nice green streak, and then 2 big red days, then another nice green streak. And here we are with, again, these 2 red days. So carrying over into September, 41,000 on Friday on 5 trades, and then another 30,000 today. And so just like that, I'm back to, well, I'm going to be red on the month. I'm going to be red on the month by 15,000. Now it's okay. I can handle that. I can recover, but it's disappointing. It's frustrating, and it feels like a path that was laid in front of me that it was going to happen, and I was too stupid to look right in front of me and see it and avoid it, and that's extremely upsetting. So I'm upset with myself, much more today than I've been in a while. Yeah, just repeating that kind of same, like falling into that same trap again. That's what gets upsetting, and that's of course we talk about how difficult trading can be, and the most difficult component of it are the emotions. So my first trade was on IRNT, and on IRNT, I bought this. It's our leading gapper, and it's failed miserably, as you can see. So had a huge move on Friday from $16 up to 40 bucks. Of course I didn't trade it Friday. It's 5 o'clock, after hours. But this morning I saw it, recognized this pre-market pivot around 37.50, and also recognized what appeared to be ascending support once, twice. And so I bought it right here. And right there I lost $15,000. So that was my first trade of the day. And I got some slippage on it. That was, so where I made the mistake was taking too much size. I bought 13,000 shares. I started with 9,000, and then I added at 32.97 for the break of 33. And this candle dropped from 32.50 to $30, $2.50 in one candle. I tried to sell at 32.14. And I got a partial fill. Let's see, I filled, I don't know, it was partial fill in any case. And then I canceled the order and sold the rest below 31, over $1 of slippage. So I got a lot of slippage on my exit. And my last shares were out at $32.02. They hit a low of $29.80 before popping back up to $31.12. So, I bailed, and then I looked, and I was honestly shocked that I was down 15,000. I didn't think I lost over $1 a share. So, unfortunately, that was how I started my day, immediately in the red. Then RNXT, on this one, I got kind of emotionally fueled because I saw it rip here from 1150 up to 1225, and then I took a 20,000 share trade, and I ended up taking it basically right on this red candle here, hit a high of 1230, and then I stopped out down here as it broke this bottom of 1166. So I held it too long, I took too much size, and lost $7 grand on it. So that was not fun. And LEXX, I tried a small trade on that, and whatever, lost 74 bucks. That one I don't care about. But so those are my trades there. Put me down 22,000, below my $20,000 max loss. I then took another trade knowing I was below max loss, but was frustrated, emotionally fueled, and said, well, screw it. It's already a bad day. Who cares? Not a good emotional state to be in, but went ahead and took a trade on RKLB. That was, I don't remember where that was actually now, looking at the chart, but hit a high there of 1590 and then came up to 1650. So I traded this stock, made 2,100 on it. I was actually up 4,500 and then lost half. And then FCUV, I took a trade on this. I thought this would work better, which was completely stupid because there was no reason to think it would work better given that the leading gappers had failed. So it was delusional to think that this would do anything at all. And I proceeded to lose 10,700 on it. And with that, I said, all right, I'm done for the day. I got in for the dip and rip on the halt resumption and then just lost 10 grand. Right? It was the wrong day. The momentum wasn't here. We didn't have hot momentum today. This was not like last week. And, I feel frustrated because last week when we had some of these big momentum stocks, I didn't capitalize on them as well as I could have. I could have made more. If I had taken the risk I took today, I probably would have made more. But instead, this is totally classic emotional trading. You take high risk on a poor quality setup, and then you've got a big loss. You weren't really thinking you were going to lose that much, but it happens. And then you overcompensated on the wrong stock. You overcompensated for missing the big trades on something else by taking high risk trades on a low quality setup, and then you just lose money. And you would think you at a certain point would get better than that. You would think, and you would be wrong, because trading is so difficult from the emotional perspective. You keep falling into those traps, and really the only difference between sort of falling into those traps maybe today and falling into them a couple of years ago is that I'm now at a level where I trade with larger share size, and the profits I make in between these back-to-back red days is bigger. So I am net profitable. But a beginner trader who has a very similar pattern of, 2 weeks green and then 2 huge red days, more likely they'll be losing money. So they'll have 10 steps forward, and then in 2 days they'll take 15 steps back. And then another 2 weeks will be like 10 steps forward and then another 15 steps back. So they're losing money overall. It's not usually for most traders until you're first breaking even. So you have 2 steps forward and then 2 steps back, and then 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Once you're breaking even for a period, you're keeping your head above water. And that, I think, is the beginning of the turning point. And then you start to actually make some progress. But a lot of people give up before they actually have that turning point. Some may be destined to never have that turning point, and others give up before it happened because they couldn't afford to keep trading, or they got too frustrated. And there's a million other good reasons why someone would stop trading. But yeah, so for me, it still happens. Every you look at my metrics, back here from January, and you'll see pretty consistently that every couple of weeks or months or whatever it is, I'll have a drawdown. I started the year going red 184 until I got back, and then immediately I went back to down 300. Then I got back, and then I went down 30, got back, went down 30 again, and then like a month went by in April, went down 30. Couple weeks, and then I went at the end of April, 100 grand. Made it back. So these little stretches of flat are basically the times my account was at all-time highs and I wasn't recouping loss. And you look at that this year and it's like, wow, I spent a lot of time this year recouping losses, a lot of time. And I'm not super happy about that. My longest stretch of not having a big loss looks like from May until June 15th. And that wasn't even that long a stretch. And I had a good $77,000 loss in another 2-week stretch. The good news though, and what this doesn't really show you is how big the ups are. And this is total profit of 2.2 million. So clearly the ups are big, they're significant statistically, and they're there. This was a 1 week stretch where I made almost $1 million, in 2 weeks or whatever. This was a huge stretch. And then, so I was down 180, then made almost $1 million, then lost 300, and then, rallied back up. So another $1 million. So I think that there are, a million different ways to approach trading, obviously, as we know. And I approach it from a pretty aggressive perspective of trying to quickly and aggressively grow an account. And that doesn't come without risk. So I take risk. I've made this year 7.2 million and I've lost 4.7. I don't know if I've had years where that ratio was better, but this year's felt kind of wild. Had some nice long stretches last year without drawdown, and most of my drawdowns last year were smaller. So I had a good stretch from like a 2-month stretch of no drawdown. But they got bigger towards the end of the year. So last year was 7.9 million and the loss was 3.3. So a similar level of profit, but a significantly smaller level of loss last year. But that's just part of trading. Every year is going to be a little different. So anyways, that's where I'm at here today. I'm going to take tomorrow off. So I'm not going to trade tomorrow, but I'll be back at my office on Thursday. And hopefully we see some better opportunities on Thursday and kind of just flatten out this week. Kind of just get back to, a couple of small base hits and just trade more conservatively until we see better momentum. And maybe take a couple more days of just trading small size or something like that, because, right now the market's not hot enough to support trading as aggressively as I have. And that's the biggest problem, is I'm not good at going slow. I just kind of go full throttle, like always. And then days like today are, in hindsight, why did I go so aggressive? But days that become the biggest green days might have also been like, what would have told you to go so aggressive early? And I just started aggressive and then just kept going aggressive, and then it finished as a huge green day. So that's just kind of how I'm wired. Net profit is what I look at. It's positive, not right now on the day, of course, but over the longer period of time. So, the month or so that I've been trading on vacation and traveling, I've made about, after today's losses, I was up about 280,000, but we'll be up a bit over 200 still, which is good. So trading and traveling has paid me $200,000 this last month, and it's better than if I had just taken the whole time off. Yeah, I've had some good red days yesterday and the day before, or yesterday, Friday, and today, and 2 weeks ago, but had some really good green days too. So just gotta wait for the next green day and green streak to come along and do what I always do, trade aggressively and get this month into the green again, and hopefully end up finishing the month closer to my goal of 200,000. So 100K is the first goal, and then 200 is the second. And I finished the month of, now I actually can't remember where I finished the month of August. Let's see, it must have been somewhere around 150 or 160. Let's see, let me just log back in here. Oops, sorry. So finished the month of August. Let's see. 8/1, 30th. 190 in gross profit and 168 in net profit. So 168,000 last month. It was good. So anyways, that's my red day recap, but I'll be back at it, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Okay, see you then.
I hope you really enjoyed that video, and make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Our goal is to hit 1 million subscribers this year, but we won't get there without your help. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button.